My uncle used to be my aunt. My uncle used to be my aunt. All right, we sound good. This one's titled, How I Woke Up as a 35-Year-Old Loser and How You Can Avoid It. I'm going to give this a like just because he's lighting up a stogie. Just off rip. Just, God, I miss cigarettes, man. I really do. You gotta admire that. Anyways, this dude's name's Snooks. And let's party. Oh, yeah. That's nice.
I'll probably smoke 10 of them before this is over. So, I am a 35-year-old loser.
Yeah.
And there's no getting around that fact. I spent all of my 20s and half of my 30s so far doing almost nothing productive. I smoked pot. I watched porn. I played video games. Smoked cigarettes, got drunk. And I never took the time to really invest in my future, my finances, skill sets, knowledge bases, all that. It's not that I have no knowledge or skills, but none of it's very marketable. It might be marketable for something like YouTube, but I'm old enough to know, and I'm old enough to the point where I don't have the luxury of time where I can bet on YouTube or content creation or whatever to pay off. I'm going to do it. No matter.
Yeah, well, with that attitude, you know what's funny, though? Am I tripping, Nestor? Tell me if I'm bugging out. But this guy, he seems pretty...
He seems sharp.
Yeah, he seems sharp, dude. Like he could easily bullshit me and tell me he's with a big company or he's like... The way he speaks...
Yeah. He's self-aware.
He could easily bullshit. I kind of like this guy, but I will say something to people who are thinking about doing YouTube. If you're older, it's actually better now. YouTube's for older people now. Like if you're 30 and up, YouTube is like the place to be. So just something in case you weren't aware of that. Like it's no longer for 15-year-olds. It's for the 40-year-old. Just in case you didn't know. Anyways, he's doing pretty good too. He's got 20,000 subs. We already gave him a like. I'm going to subscribe to him just for the cigarette bit. All right. Anyways.
No matter what I do, I'll make room for this in some capacity just because I just feel like I need some kind of like creative, comedic kind of outlet.
Yeah.
So, but I recognize that it's not the kind of thing that you can bank on making a living off of. And even if you get lucky, and maybe you're making good money for like a 5-year period, that can go away overnight.
Dude, we're just talking shit here, by the way. I'm not here to criticize this guy, right? I'm actually here to encourage him to just keep blazing bogeys and doing your thing, brother. But like even regular jobs, you can't even bank on those. You got to bank on 2 of those. You know what I mean? That's the funniest part. It's almost like, why not? You can't even bank on a regular fucking job. It's just something to think about. Kick him while he's down, why don't we? Just joking.
So, I'm not putting all my eggs in this basket only because it makes 0 sense. If I was 20, 25, I could do it more with less risk, but I'm not. I'm not even 30. I'm 35. I just turned 35 2 months ago. 2 months ago to the day, actually.
Yeah, I just turned 36. I remember what it used to be 35.
And that's the first lesson. Well, the second lesson after don't do this. But I want to teach, impart
cigs
upon young people. Although I have a feeling if you found this video, you're probably not that young. But in the off chance that I do get a couple of youngsters here, and I know that the 40 and 50-year-olds are laughing at me because 35 is young, whatever. Compared to a 20-year-old, I'm old as fuck.
Yeah. When I was 20, 35, you're basically dead. That's the truest statement I've ever heard. Let him finish.
And the first thing I want to impress upon you, if you're in your 20s, 25, even if you're like pre-30, and again, I don't want anyone who's over 30 to lose hope here, because I don't think it's over at 35 or even 45. But what happens as you age is your options shrink. Your options rapidly fall away. And what you might have done in your 20s, maybe you take a couple of years, maybe 5 years to explore different career path options. When you start to near 40, you have less time to spend researching that kind of stuff and developing an idea of what you would like to do for a living.
That's true.
So it's very important that you do that work as early as possible. If you're a teenager, that's great. 20s, whatever. Again, 30s even. Like, I'm not trying to say like, oh, I'm just going to roll over and die here. That is not the message I want to impart on anyone. For myself, I'm not going to do that. But also, if you are over 30, 40, don't give up. It's not. Trust me, the alternative is far worse than what you'll have to go through. Well, I shouldn't say trust me. I haven't done it yet. But you know what I'm saying. Like, I'm not trying to take the wind out of anybody's sails. I'm just trying to really what I'm trying to do is just assuage my own anxiety by talking about this, and maybe as a secondary goal, I can impart a little bit of advice to people who maybe can benefit from it. The number one thing: don't smoke. The number one thing.
God, I miss cigarettes. Something I want to throw out there. I think the good thing about not having a career, especially when you hit 30 or 35, you're kind of wide open, because how many people do you know? I know a few people, first real job they got, they've been there ever since. That's them. And by the time they're 35, they've been at the same job for 12, 15, 16 years. It almost feels as if you couldn't do anything else. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, one of my best friends at 37 years old, was at the same company for 12 years. Not happy at all. He just took it. He was a kid and stuff, so he did what was right. Just enough pay to get by, but not enough to really thrive. You know what I mean? Just enough. And he left. Totally changed careers. He has a wife, someone to support him. He's making a little less money at first, but like, he's been wanting to do that for 5 years. And he finally just said, fuck it. And he did it. But how many people don't say, fuck it, and light up the cig and totally switch gears?
It's scary.
Yeah. So I don't want to sit here and, preacher, teacher on you. But I think that is the one positive thing about kind of feeling like you're at the bottom or you don't have a career. Because that was kind of me. I bartended. I sold things on eBay. I sold weed. Or you don't now, But it kind of was freeing for me because I didn't have a career that I was like, I'm a pharmacist or I'm an electrician, or like I wasn't nailed down to something, if that makes sense. Like, bartending never felt like a real job. The only way that would be real is if I became the general manager, but then you get trapped in that. You become a GM, you start making 110 grand a year. Psst, where are you going to go make that? All you know is restaurant business. We're going to open your own restaurant? Probably not. Maybe. But so I just want to encourage anybody who maybe is in this dude's situation. And if this dude's watching, you're kind of a free bird at this point. You can kind of just look at life and go, well, most real jobs don't pay, so I may as well try this other fake job that seems to be working for people. Just throwing that out there, okay? I'm an idea man. I'm a little crazy. It's just how I roll.
But yeah, a big piece of advice I would give to you is if you're in your 20s, those 20s go by real fast.
Oh, yeah.
And you want to get a handle on your future as early as possible, because every year that you don't is a year you'll never get back. And it's 1 year less you will have to play with later if you do eventually decide to get your shit together. So start early, because I can guarantee you, if you don't, you will regret it. I'm experiencing it firsthand. I guess I should probably just tell all here.
Yeah, let it all
I'm
hang
35
out.
years old, and I live at home with my mother.
Nice.
And we're actually living in my grandfather's house. Not to besmirch my mother, but, we both kind of fucked up with our money, although she's doing a lot better than I am. She
Generational
worked
wealth.
for many years in a good career, so she has money, a little bit. Decent social security. So she's okay, I think. I hope. But I've never left home. And I've never told anybody this. So if my friends see this, it's going to be embarrassing. I worked. I wasn't a total NEET. Back in the day in high school, I worked in Burger King. Looks like I'm going to be working there again real soon.
I'm having a hard time believing. I think he doesn't. Maybe he's just a some people, that's just how they want to live. They want to just chill and just enough to get by, and I don't blame him. But dude, he talks like
if you were interviewing him for a Burger King position, you'd be like, this guy's overqualified.
Yeah, this guy's way overqualified. He should be my boss. That's how it sounds, right? Am I bugging out? Hey, man, I'm just just in case you need a little pep talk. But I don't know. Maybe he's just a professional bullshitter, that's a real thing. But you can turn that. One of my favorite movies ever is called The Color of Money. And it's basically about the color of different currencies. I'm just kidding. It's a pool hustling movie. But the dude, the main character says at one point, he goes, if you're great at something, money can be arranged. And I believe that goes for literally almost anything, especially now with the internet. And this guy seems to be pretty great at talking, and I'm sure he has bamboozled and bullshitted his way through a lot of stuff, dude. Lot of stuff. And money can be arranged with that kind of a skill set. I'm doing it right now. Not to mention, he just said, I want you guys to really think about this. I just want to use me as an example. I've never had a real job, or what most people perceive to be a real job. There's always bartending, odd jobs. There's never something that was like, oh yeah, you're a plumber, or a fucking paralegal, or mortgage loan officer, or a real estate agent. I've never had a real job. But take this. He said his mom had a career. I'm sure he's going to fill us in on this. But yet she still had to go home, and she wasn't good with money. So I want you to think about this one. With bartending and odd jobs, I was able to actually save money and be good. Yet a few of my acquaintances, friends, peers, whatever you want to call them, had real jobs. But yet somehow I'm better off. So it wasn't that we made the same money. So it's kind of one of those things too, where even if you do have a real career, it's no, you got to make a lot of money, but how much are you going to save? How much are you going to keep? What are you going to do with it? Mm-hmm. I think is a big one. I've just seen it firsthand. I've never had a real job, and yet I've been okay. But then people with actual careers, I'm like, how do you not have money? I'm like, don't you make more money than me? How is this possible? I don't know. That's just something that's always blown my mind. And maybe we're not taught. Maybe I lucked out. Maybe Maybe I inherited that gene of playing the game of money. Like having it was more fun than spending it. I don't know. I like spending it too. Don't get me wrong. Oh, Papa spends. But not all of it. I don't know. I'm weird like that.
After that, I worked retail a couple of years, delivered pizza a couple of years, loved that job. Pay wasn't amazing, and with the...
Nestor, you deliver pizzas, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good time.
Good time. Papa Pepperoni.
Yes,
oh, boy.
sir.
I deliver with my own vehicle. If you ever, by the way, if you're ever thinking about delivering anything, pizza, whatever, never do it with your own vehicle, because just take whatever you're making and take like 90% of it and just throw it in the trash, because all that's going to go to car repairs. They usually pay for your gas while you're driving, but even then, I don't think they paid for it fully, but they pay for most of it. But the amount of money that you will spend, there's another piece of advice. If you're thinking about delivering pizza or whatever, always use a company car. Never take a job if you have to use your own car. I know that's probably most local places you'll have to use your own car. I'm telling you, it's a fucking scam.
True.
Biggest ploy. I haven't said this one in a while. This might blow your minds. Nestor, look this up. Cab drivers in New York City. Remember yellow cabs? 777-777. You call them. To become a taxi cab driver, you would have to buy what was called a medallion or your license. And they ran anywhere from $150,000 to $250,000 to be able to be a cab driver in New York City. Look up that in the 90s, I believe it was. Say, how much did it cost to become a cab driver in the 90s in New York City? $150,000 to become a fucking cab driver. I want you to think about that for a second. That's more than some college degrees. And now you got to use your own car to do Uber. No one's paying $150,000 to become an Uber driver. No one.
Yeah, you're right. And in the later 90s, the price climbed up to $200,000.
Yeah. A cool $200K real fast to fucking drive a taxi, guys. Yeah.
That's unreal.
Just throwing that out there. So it's not like it wasn't a good deal. You know, at one point it was. I don't know. That always blew my mind, though. I drove Uber about 8 years ago. I did it for like 4 months. If I got to keep all that money, or like it was in a way, oh, dude, I see why people would do it full time. Make $2,000 a week, $2,500 a week, chilling, driving a taxi, dude. But the only problem is you don't get to keep all that money with Uber. You only get like $800 of that. They get the big money. So just kind of trippy stuff is all I'm saying. Anyways.
The amount of money you're going to spend on repairs, oil changes, and not even just repairs and oil changes. At a certain point, the repairs just become not worth it. That my mother worked at.
Oh, wait.
She was a VP in the service. That's a crazy dream job. And even then, who wants to be a pizza delivery man until they're 50? I'm probably going to have to freaking do it at some point. So I delivered pizza. And then I went...
Dude, the cig, though, just... God, I want one right now. I really do.
Went to work after that at the mortgage company that my mother worked at. She was a VP in the servicing department, and I went to work in the servicing department.
Nice.
I was a Nepo baby.
What?
And for 12 years, I worked at this mortgage company as a Nepo baby.
Look up what Nepo baby means. I'm pretty sure that just means you're rich, right?
I think it's when like your family puts you on to a position.
Oh, really? Okay, I thought it meant you were rich.
It says a person whose success in a field is attributed to their parents' fame and connections.
Oh, okay.
Rather than their own merit.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
Putting them on.
Low-level Nepo. Gotcha. All right.
In what is basically an entry-level position. By the end of what I was doing, I had more responsibilities, and it was a little bit more complicated than an entry-level position, but not by much. I was only making like 21 and change an hour, which is not a lot. working barely 35 hours a week. And I got laid off last December. The company's been doing kind of rough, and it's the market. It's horrible right now, and they're not immune to it. And I think the company like literally lost like half of its employees over the last few years, and I didn't make it through the last round. And basically ever since then, for the last 8 months, 9 months, I've been unemployed, working very inconsistently on this YouTube thing. And now the gravy train is ending. I'm running out of money. My mother can no longer support me. She's retired. So the reality of life and adulthood is finally starting to set in for the first time. And I have got to be honest, it is absolutely terrifying.
I'll never forget that feeling. Like, I don't want to say most people won't understand this, but probably most people won't understand this. But when I had everything, Nestor, you passed me that photo right there with my family there. I don't have the second camera hooked up, but like this sums it up. Okay, that sums it up. I got a fucking sailor suit on. Okay, all right. Don't make me get the picture of the bowl cut. All right, don't make me do it. But I had it fucking made. Like, if outside looking in, classic white boy, everything you perceive of me is true. Aside from I had to get a job at 15. That was a rule. Didn't matter how cushy my life was. My parents weren't rich, but they were well off. They were doing good. Really good. I had a bowl cut. Okay, guys? I had a car at 16. You know what I'm saying? Okay. But at 19, my parents lost everything. The whole nine. And I didn't realize how bad it was. And this is back 2009-ish. I didn't realize how bad it was until my dad came up to me and said, Jack, I need to borrow like 2 G's. Luckily, I was selling weed at the time and I had a job, so I had money. 10 grand at 19, you're rich, especially back then. But I was like, what do you mean you need money? He's like, I'm flat broke. And this is a guy that used to drive a Porsche and had like 8 employees. Okay, so I'm not thinking it's that bad. I'm just thinking, oh, like you guys are getting divorced, we're moving out of the house. No, we're losing the house. Dad's broke. And I had to pay his rent for it. But what I'm saying is like that feeling of the security being completely wiped out from underneath you is terrifying. Luckily, I was young. And when you're young, you kind of feel invincible. So I wasn't really tripping about it too hard. I didn't think too deeply about it. Like my mom was still good. Worst case scenario, I could just go live at her house, her new place. But my dad never recovered. Ever. He didn't recover. He ended up just living with me till he died. And, but I couldn't imagine being like this dude's age and being like, oh, my mom can't take care of me anymore. Like my mom she doesn't have that income anymore. Like, having the rug pulled from you at this age. Yeah. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Sometimes you need, under pressure, pushing down on me, pushing down on you. Sometimes you need that pressure. I do better under pressure. Usually I try a lot harder when I know that like I don't have any other option. And I don't want to be homeless, so call me crazy. Just throwing that out there though.
One piece of advice I could give is, unless you're smart enough and disciplined enough to treat it correctly and maybe only treat it as like a stepping stone, do not take a nepotistic job. Again, I can't speak for everybody. You got a family business, like a family-owned business, and you're working for your parents, or that's fine, whatever. But if you get an in a company, especially if you get an in their department with a family member, especially if they're in a position of authority, I don't even know how they allow that kind of shit, but like I wouldn't allow that in my company, but don't go for it because, you know, I worked at this place for 12 years.
Dang.
Basically my entire 20s and a little bit into my 30s. Most of my 20s and a little bit into my 30s. And I'm not going to totally blame the nepotism. I'm not trying to blame my mom here. But I can speak from experience, at least for me. Again, it might not apply to everybody, but for me, the nepotism thing, it just, the whole time I was working there, it was this extremely toxic environment. You know, I knew I didn't belong there. I mean, don't get me wrong, like I could do the job. It's not a hard job, but you know, I got there from someone else. And as a result, I never appreciated it. I always took it for granted. I was lazy. I was late every single day, sometimes showing up 45 minutes late. They were pretty chill about that kind of stuff. Like you could get in like 10.
Well, yeah, your mom was your boss. Of course, they're going to be chill about it. Of course, dude. And I worked for my dad when I was younger. He paid me twice as much as other people, and I didn't even really work. That didn't last long. He went bust. I already told you guys this stuff. And I started paying him. So that's great. But this guy's, I like this guy. Some people are professional. Like this dude could easily do something. He's got 20,000 subscribers, actually. Like it's not like he can't do something with himself. Like he could fool me. Like if I just met him out in public, he could pull the wool over the eyes of the sheepskin on me, dude. Like, I love the honesty, though. I really do. But you could get stuck, man. People get stuck. Bullshit job, they just stay. But that's all right. Some people, I think that's just what it is. I get it. Like, if I still thought the way I did at 16, and I kept that mentality, I would make just enough. And I would fuck off the rest of my life. That's the truth. That's the truth. For sure. Because I did think that way at one point. Just like enough money to smoke some weed and go skateboarding. You know, but some people stay in that.
That's so true.
And we need these people. We do. It's the truth.
10 minutes late is not a big deal, but and I pushed that shit every day, 30 minutes, 45 minutes. It was ridiculous. Sometimes an hour. Ridiculous. I always worked the number of hours I needed to, although not diligently, but I would show up late constantly.
Just ripping the bogey.
And while they may not say it to your face, all of your coworkers are thinking it. Exactly what you're thinking. This fucking loser.
Yeah.
And as a result, you can, like, even if you wanted to, which to be fair, I didn't because I've been depressed and
he's such a likable dude, though. Like, he's so honest, you know? Like, I mean, if I was his boss, I'd fire him. You know, he would have been fired. Or, like, we would have had the talk already. And then if he didn't do it, he'd be like, all right. You know, I have no choice but to let you go. But I've gotten really far in my life because people just like me. So it's not like I couldn't have abused that. People will overlook a lot. And if your mom's your boss, I mean, you basically get away with anything.
And a pothead the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
Coomer. But even if I wanted to be friends with my coworkers, you know, I'd have to really, really work because you're always in that scenario kind of looked down upon a little bit, rightly so. I'm not blaming them, you know. And I did myself no favors by not really applying myself and just coasting the whole time, which just made it worse. Like I was just confirming their prejudice and stereotype. I was just living up to it. I was just, yeah, that's who he is. That's what he is.
He delivers, man.
And I didn't care about the job. I didn't appreciate it. You know, I could have worked my way up the ladder a little bit, gotten more responsibilities, applied myself. I'm a smart guy. I like to think I'm a relatively well-spoken guy. I could have navigated the corporate environment, hierarchy.
He could have came on here and bullshitted us and been like, yeah, I was the manager at a mortgage loan office. And like he could have came on and bullshitted, fooled me. And he definitely could have fooled Nestor.
Yeah.
This much I guarantee you. He even knows it. That's the best part. Like how many people do you know? How many people do you know that are like, you go, what? Like, this guy's so smart. What is he doing? Like, it puzzles you how the person isn't up here. I know too many of these guys, like too talented for their own good, or too smart. You know how you hear that thing like, what's that thing? You ever hear this where they go, why really smart people can never have like a job or get ahead? It's like they're too smart. They know too much.
Yeah, it's a
detriment. Yeah,
sometimes.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all. Because if you really were that smart, like you'll figure out how to manipulate some money. You won't even need a real job. That's how. But like this guy is that though. Like I know too many of these people where I'm like, how are you this smart? But you can't, or you won't. Sometimes people just won't. They just don't want to.
Yeah.
They don't fucking want to do it. And I don't blame them. But it's just something to think about. There's too many of these guys. There's too many of these people out here where it's like, you should be like, why aren't you doing something way bigger than fucking working at this place? Way too many of these people walking around. But hey, whatever. They're going to do whatever they're going to do.
I even had my supervisor who fired me and I think didn't like me by the end of it. She'd only been my supervisor for like a year, my manager for like a year before I got fired. At first, she liked me and she even spoke well of me to the owner of the company. She said I was smart and stuff. By the end of it, when she got to know me and got to work with me for a year and a half, by the end of it, I don't think she probably thought I was smart, but she knew that I had many other qualities that kind of crowded out the intelligence. Lack of discipline, laziness, depression, anxiety. I don't like to blame those things, but they don't help. They contribute to the problem. And it's ultimately your responsibility to deal with that. Like, as in a business, no one cares that you're depressed. That's your job. You're just there to make them money. They don't care about your personal problems. That's your responsibility. That's another piece of advice. Your problems are your problems. And an employer, they don't give a shit, and they shouldn't give a shit. It's not their responsibility.
See, this guy could literally
That's
be
so
doing the, when people get hired and they come into a room, what's that called?
The
orientation.
Yeah.
I would hire him just to do orientation.
Yeah.
Like, that's your job, dude. You come in once a week, light up a couple cigs, give a pep talk. Just come in and just do that every week. Here's the money.
For real.
For real, though.
Career counseling.
Yeah. Like he just come in, he's like, we don't care about your feelings whatsoever. We care about money. Yeah? It was good. Because I'm lazy too. I wasn't even on time.
He's late to the
Yeah, he's late to the meeting telling them, don't be an asshole. I'm having a hard time. Like, I hope this guy really succeeds, and I hope YouTube works out for him. Because, like, I'm like this guy too, where it's like, I couldn't even do what he did. I tried an office job. I couldn't do it. It was impossible for me. I had to work a job where I was basically a contractor. Like, I'm there, but your place is an engine for me to make money, but you're not actually paying me. I'm working solely off commission. That's the only jobs I've ever been able to do. So I get it. But, like, I couldn't even do that. Like, I couldn't even suck it up and just go work the 9 to 5 in the office or on the construction site. I've tried it, dude. I've tried blue collar. I've tried white collar. I can't do it. I can't fucking do it. But some people will do it. Like, they'll put up with it. I don't know how. I commend all of you guys that do it. I tried. I couldn't. I fucking couldn't. I really hope this dude, I think he will. I think he's going to be all right. I really do.
If they gave a shit about that, they wouldn't be making money. When you come to a workplace, when you come to a profession, a career, whatever, you're presenting yourself as an asset to a team to help that team make money. And anything that undermines your ability to be an asset to that team, it doesn't matter why. It doesn't matter if you have a sob story. It doesn't matter if you really can justify it and give a good explanation for why you are the way you are. It doesn't matter. Money talks, bullshit walks.
Oh, he's good.
You need to perform. And they're not there to be your friend. They're not there to be your counselor. They're not there to be your mommy or your daddy that you didn't have. They're there to make money, and you're there to help them make money. And they're going to pay you some of that money. I lost my train of thought. I don't even know what I was talking about now.
Oh, he's
This is
good.
right. Another reason, don't smoke pot. Another advice, don't smoke pot. So stupid. I haven't smoked in a little bit. Like 15 minutes.
He's not kidding. He's not joking, guys. I wish I could smoke weed. Honestly, the moment I stopped smoking weed and drinking, well, partying like once or twice a week, every single time I've done that, I excel at something that is positive. Every single time. Every single time. Because I also have that shithead mentality where it's just, fuck it. It's whatever. Who cares? I have that. There's part of, like, that's still in me. I have it till this day. But, like, I don't smoke weed. I rarely drink. So I have to focus my energy, my fuck it energy, onto something else. And then I just say, screw it, but I do something kind of positive. Where it's just like, well, fuck it, whatever. You know, like when we film videos, I look at Nestor and I go, this one might not hit, but who cares? You know, I think there's this comfort in nobody really cares. I don't know about you guys, but like most of you watching this, you don't give two shits what I do with myself or what I'm doing. This guy, it's like, yeah, dude, cool. Like, fuck off. Who cares? You know? There's like a weird comfort in that.
Yeah.
And I use that to just go for the thing. I don't know how to explain that perfectly, but I hope that helps. There's a weird comfort in no one really gives a shit. But I use it in a positive manner, not in a, well, then I just won't try manner.
Sure.
I use it reverse is what I'm trying to get at. It's nice. It gives me comfort at night when I'm sleeping. It really does. Every night I go to bed and I go, yeah, no one cares.
So yeah, I mean, I guess I worked there for 12 years. Didn't
Good
apply
stuff.
myself. Never got promoted. Got a few raises to keep up with inflation. Barely. Didn't probably.
No.
But I didn't not get promoted because they were out to get me. I didn't get promoted because I offered nothing worth promoting. And then because of that, this most recent round of layoffs, I'm sure most of the department that I worked in is probably still working there because they had their shit together. A couple of them, I know, there was like 2 or 3 people who got laid off around the same time I did. And it was already a lean department. There's probably only like 3 or 4 or 5 people left. But, you know, I'm sure most of them, if not all, are still there because they're good workers. They're a value add to the company, and they deserve it. But I didn't. So I got fired, laid off, downsized, whatever you want to call it. Whatever way you want to church it up. I couldn't
You were
keep my
fired,
job,
buddy.
but other people did. So call it fired if you want. And then about 6 months later, I turned 35 years old.
Yeah.
And when I got fired, I had a small 401k. About $20,000, $25,000.
That's it? 12 years? I'm not here to roast the guy. I'm just kind of putting that. Let's just like really think about that for a second. You live at home with your mom. If I lived at home with my parents for 12 years and I'm making $800 a week. But then again, when you don't give a fuck in that reverse manner, it's easy for me to say, you know. But this happens to people with real jobs, guys. Real fucking jobs. I talked about this not that long ago. My two friends who I thought were doing phenomenal. Real jobs, making a lot of money. Zero 401k, zero retirement. They are negative. They need to borrow money. I was like, you guys have real careers. You drive BMWs, dude. You were just in Paris. You know, sometimes it's not what it seems. So at least this guy's like really just delivering. He's like, no, this is what it is. I really do kind of appreciate that. Well, let's see where he's going with this. We got to wind this down. I got to see the comment section on this one. That's crazy. That's all. That's it.
And I did. I cashed it out. I used it to pay off my car.
Good.
Which is one good like probably the only good financial decision I've ever made is to pay off my car. My car has less than 70,000 miles on it, and it's a Toyota, so that could probably last me a little while if I take care of it.
I thought he was about to say that would probably last me the rest of my life. No offense, I'm just kidding around, dude. I kind of like this guy.
Don't have a car payment anymore. I do, however, have credit card debt and a personal loan totaling about less than $10,000 in debt. But the last couple of months, and again, I am late.
How do you even get into that debt? You live at home. I don't understand, dude. Like, some people are just pro at just spending it. I think most people, they're just taught to spend money. So I don't even want to talk shit on that.
In it all out here. You know, this is embarrassing to say. The last couple of months, I have been missing payments. Still don't have a job. Why don't you have a job? Because I'm a fucking idiot. I have been looking. I just went to Cumberland Farms for an interview that I had scheduled, and they weren't even hiring. Isn't that great? You apply on Indeed. They automatically enroll you for an interview. You spend all this time filling out these forms. You schedule the interview, but you never actually dealt with a person. And I show up. Lady has no idea what I'm talking about. Apparently the computer systems, I'm assuming they simply just didn't take the time to toggle a setting to not automatically interview people. But either way, it's still on me because I knew in the back of my head, I haven't talked to a person yet.
No, this guy's way too smart. That's just called buying time, dude. No, that's like the professional college student that just goes for their master's because that's the only way your parents will pay for your apartment and give you allowance and pay for your car. Mm-hmm. We'll pay for you if you're in school. If you don't go to school, you have to pay for everything yourself. That's a real thing. That's real white boy shit. It happens in other cultures too, but like definitely white people land. I've seen that firsthand too many times. But what I'm saying is like you do the thing just to appease your parent in order to keep your situation the same.
Yep.
This guy's way too smart.
Yeah.
No, he knows exacgly what the fuck he's up
dangerous,
to.
dude.
He's a dangerous gentleman, bro. Like, he's going to be all right, but like, no. This is like, people do that though. Believe it or not. Why do you think so many people have master's degrees? Do you really think it's because they care about the education?
Yeah.
Do you? Nestor, do you? Hmm. You went to a nice college. How many rich motherfuckers did you know? Woo! Just milking it, dog. Just milking it. How many?
A lot. Yeah. I would say majority.
But yeah, that's kind of where I'm getting at. Yeah. Not talking down on college. I'm not. Okay? I just partied for a lot cheaper. It's a real thing. People buying time. People are they're smart. They're smarter than you think. They're manipulating the system. And I don't blame them. All right, let's see these comments. This is YouTube at its best. Someone being real and connecting with their audience. Better days ahead. Yeah, I mean, if he can learn how to just show up on time and do this, he'll be fine.
Yeah.
In 3 minutes in, and you're displaying an incredible amount of self-awareness, that in itself is huge. You're not a failure. Yeah, like I said before, man, there's a freedom in not having it together or having a career when you're in your 30s, 35. Maybe at 40, that might be a little crippling, but there is a freedom in it. You know, if you look at it that way, where it's like, oh, I can kind of go whichever direction I want.
Yeah.
When you're 50, you're going to be like, man, if I was 30 or 35, yeah, of course. But when you're 20, 35 is basically you're a loser, you're dead. You're 35 years old. You look like you're in your 20s. Okay, here we go. You have a college degree. Yeah, well, that's not. He's applying to gas stations, guys.
Burger King.
I don't know. I don't think he said anything about a college degree. Did he say anything about a college degree?
No, but that company he worked at looked like a professional job, but now he's applying to Burger King and gas stations. He's setting the bar low for himself.
But that video is 50 minutes long. I encourage you to go watch. I'll leave a link down below. I'll finish it out on my own time, but we're not going to do it here and have a 2-hour video. I was in a similar situation at 35. I decided to seek responsibility instead of just hoping things would happen. I lost 200 pounds, went to school, got a bachelor's degree in cybersecurity. I am 39 and have increased my income by 50%. Still living with my mother, though. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to read the rest of that. Good. Congratulations on losing the weight, though. Okay. Getting this. I am 29. I woke up this year. Some men wake up at 14. Some wake up at 40. Some never do. Accountability is hard, and you've taken the first steps. Be proud of yourself. Yeah, I got to finish out the rest of this video. But some people, though, too, I don't know. He could just be like, well, this is the truth about myself. Maybe he makes a career on YouTube or something just doing this. People like that. I like that. You know, I'm doing it. I just talk and bullshit around, and people like it. All right. I do share way too much about myself. But, you know, hey, fuck it. I got to do something for money. I am in my last year of dental school. Okay, I've heard enough on that one. The fact that you can make an engaging 50-minute long video shows me that you can make it in the content creation. Yeah, he'd be surprised. He'll probably be surprised. But here's the thing. Some people, even if they have the opportunity to make really great money, they only care about making enough. They don't care. And there's like, you can't change that about a person.
Yeah. Would you say that's a motivation thing? Just having enough to do what you want?
No, I think some people, they don't want to they want to work to live. They don't want to live to work.
True.
That's what it is. Like, I like the game of money. And I don't think most people do. Nor should they care. Like, life isn't all about that. Like, I'm not in love with money. I just like the freedom it gives me. I can go fuck off like this gentleman wants to, but with like an ease of mind. Well, not right now. We're demonetized on YouTube right now. And thanks to everybody who's donated and joined the Patreon and bought a Caddy Daddy shirt. Appreciate all of you guys. We're restocked in these, by the way. So I don't mean it like shit can't hit the fan. It's not, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I live that fuck it attitude. Like, I kept my bills really low and I drive an old car, and but I do that because the more money I make, I just want it to buy me time. I like to be able to fuck off and smoke the metaphorical cigarette. And sometimes I smoke real cigarettes. Once in a great while, I'll still smoke. But I don't smoke every day or nothing. But because I still have that shithead in me. I still have that. But I get to use it because I work hard to be able to, like, fuck off. So it's cool. SpongeBob and Squidward are the same exact life situation, but their reaction and attitude towards it determines how they wake up in the morning and their mood throughout the day. Dang. I love SpongeBob. 32, living in my car, no friends, no degree, no job, no plan. Oh, yeah, this guy is doing way better than that. Okay. My life basically started at 35. It was let go twice. Yeah, I think the moral of the story is we get it. But I would say there's a lot of people, though, like this. I'll leave the link to him down below, Snooks. I would say there's a lot of cats like this, though. A lot of people that are just super, just... They know what the fuck's up. Like, they're smart. They know where they are. They should be... they know that they're worth more, or that they can, or that they know they're smart. Are you guys following along here?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the guy's going to be just fine, but definitely moral of the story is, you know, you got nowhere to go, but if you look at it in the positive of fuck it, let me just try something, I think that's the best way to go about it. And also, no one really gives a shit what you do. There's a lot of freedom in that. There's a lot of freedom in that. And I come on camera a lot, and not every day is my best day. And I leave the mess ups in. I don't edit it. I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm not. And I'm also lazy. I don't want to do all that. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? I know myself, and I think that's another thing too. But I love the not playing pretend, and I like this guy. Good guy. I'm gonna watch some more stuff. Anyways, hell of a talk. Appreciate you guys. Also, the Patreon is up and active. I want to just go ahead and plug that real fast. Just want to go ahead and plug that real quick. Got some exclusive content on there. Some of the conspiracy style stuff. So yeah. Anyways, hell of a talk. Nestor, you good?
Yeah.
Unreal. It's Saturday right now. We didn't even want to work today, but we're just like, well, fuck it. Our job is talking on the internet, so why not? Anyways, good stuff.